Hey everybody, Zach Wolf here with another great Top 5 Tuesday working from home edition. And this week on Top 5 Tuesday, it's the top 5 things I miss about not working at home. So here we go. Number 5 is I miss lunch. Now I still have lunch, and actually it's kind of nice to have lunch with my wife and my 2 kids, so that's cool. But I do really miss going out to meet people I know for lunch. If you work in a small firm like I do, you don't necessarily interact with that many people at the office, so getting to take a lunch break and see people you know is kind of nice. So I definitely miss that. The number 4 thing I miss while I'm working at home is meeting with my Inn of Court, both the large Inn of Court group that used to meet monthly and our smaller group that would meet more often than that. Inn of Court is a group of lawyers, judges, and law students, and we do a sort of monthly dinner and presentation, and it's a lot of fun. It does take up a lot of time, but I do miss that time, and I really look forward to hopefully sometime, maybe in the fall, when we can start doing that again. The number 3 thing I miss while I've been working at home, listening to my podcasts. I usually listen to the podcasts in the car on the way to the office. I've got a pretty long commute. And yeah, I guess I could listen to the podcasts at home, but for whatever reason, it just doesn't really work for me at home. So when I eventually start driving to the office and meetings and going to court and things like that more often, I'm actually looking forward to catching up on some of my favorite podcasts. The number 2 thing I miss while I'm working at home is taking depositions in person. Now, to some of you, taking a deposition may sound kind of boring and tedious, and sometimes it is, but most of the time, for me as a litigator, taking a deposition is actually pretty exciting. And there's something great about requiring a person to sit and testify under oath and answer your questions. I really enjoy that. I'll probably end up having to do some depositions remotely. I've done them by phone before. I'll probably try doing one via Zoom, and that should be okay, but it's not quite the same. I worry that doing it remotely maybe makes it a little harder to get candid testimony from the witness. Maybe makes it a little easier for the witness to be obstructive and dodge questions. I don't know. We'll see. But I do miss taking depositions in person. And finally, the number 1 thing I miss while I'm working at home as a lawyer is going to court in person. I love going to court. It's not always the best thing for my clients, but if it has to be done, I enjoy doing it, especially if I've got a good judge. But even if it's a not so good judge, I enjoy the challenge of it, and I enjoy being in the courthouse there in person. I did do a hearing via Zoom recently, and I noticed there are actually some advantages to doing a hearing by Zoom. For one thing, it's a little easier if you share a document on the screen to direct the judge's attention to it. But putting that aside, there's really no substitute for that in-person kind of argument in the courtroom. So I'm looking forward to eventually getting the chance to do that again. So those are the top 5 things I miss as a lawyer while I'm working at home. If you like these things, hit that like button or share this post with a friend. If you've got something you miss, you want to share, leave me a comment. And hey, thanks for watching.